Hi home bakers! Today I'm in the kitchen making granola bars.
My family loves these granola bars and they're so easy to customize, but we've settled on this recipe as our absolute favorite. The bright tart sweetness from the cranberries, the warm cinnamon spice, the crunchy seeds, and a little bit of chocolate in every bite.
These healthy granola bars are made without nuts and refined sugar. They're simple, wholesome, and packed with your favorite granola ingredients. There's no corn syrup, sugar, or processed sweeteners. These bars are naturally sweetened with dates and a little bit of applesauce. This makes them deliciously soft and chewy. They're a perfect make-ahead grab-and-go breakfast. They pack easily into lunches or to keep on hand when little hands go looking in the kitchen for something to eat.
So let's get into the kitchen. This is how I make homemade sugar-free granola bars.
We're going to start this recipe with a food processor. That's right, this recipe is super quick and easy to make. The whole thing is going to come together in your food processor, so your hands-on working time for this recipe is only a few minutes. Here I'm adding in 2.5 cups of rolled oats, along with half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a half teaspoon of cinnamon, 3/4 of a cup of unsweetened applesauce, and 30 dates. Make sure you're using pitted dates or remove the pits beforehand before adding them into the food processor. My dates were nice and soft, but if you notice yours are extremely dry or hard, add them to a bowl with some hot water and then drain them after a few minutes. Then they should be ready to mix in the food processor. I'm mixing them just enough to puree the date and for the rest of the ingredients to clump together. This mixture should still be pretty wet at this point because we do still have some ingredients left to go. Now you have some options here. If you like your mix-ins to be whole and chunky, you can place this whole thing in a bowl and fold it all together with your hands. I like my granola bars to have relatively small pieces inside, so I'm just going to add everything into the food processor and I'm just going to blitz it a few more seconds just to bring it all together. I'm adding in a half cup of shredded unsweetened coconut, 1/3 of a cup of dried cranberries, 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds, and 1/4 cup of mini chocolate chips. And I'm using sugar-free mini dark chocolate chips here. But of course you can switch these out for your favorite mix-ins. Now everything has mixed together evenly, and we're ready to form it into granola bars. I have a square baking dish here that I've lined with parchment paper. Dump the whole mixture from the food processor into the pan. Then I'm going to smooth and press everything out evenly to the sides and corners of the dish. It's important to pack this mixture down tightly, that way everything will hold together. Then you won't have any crumbly bits when you go to slice your bars. You can either press it down with your hands, use the bottom of a measuring cup, or press and smooth it out with your spatula. And I'm just making sure to press all the edges down here to make sure the bars are completely smooth on top.
You could stop this recipe right here and make no-bake granola bars, or even scoop them into little balls and make little granola bites to store in your fridge. We just happen to love the flavor and texture of the granola bars when they're slightly toasted and all the ingredients come together and soften in the oven.
And now my granola bars are ready to go into my preheated 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius oven. And they're going to bake for 20 to 25 minutes, or until everything is nice and toasty and set. I'm going to remove it from the oven and then allow it to cool to room temperature before removing and slicing into bars. They will continue to set and harden as they cool, which will make them easier to slice and will help them hold their shape. I have a large sharp knife here, and I'm going to cut it into 16 equal bars. Once they're sliced, they're ready to serve and enjoy right away. This is my family's favorite granola bar recipe. They're so simple to make and completely delicious. The naturally sweet dates and applesauce keeps them soft and chewy. They're full of fiber and hearty oats, which will help you feel full and satisfied. Since a lot of granola bar recipes are made with peanut butter or nut butter to bind everything together, these are a great allergy-friendly option, and they're school-safe to pack in little lunch boxes. I love making these on the weekend as a quick and easy meal prep snack that I know my family's going to love. They also make a great grab-and-go breakfast for busy mornings, or you can crumble them on top of your morning yogurt. I love cutting them into little pieces to add on top of my smoothie bowls for the perfect pop of sweetness, texture, and crunch. And since they're shelf stable, you can pack them in a container and keep them right on your countertop. Or you can make a big batch and freeze them for about 3 months. This is one of my favorite snack recipes to make at home, and it's so much better than the ones you buy at the store.
And as always, you can find a link to the full written recipe in the description box below.
Enjoy! If you're a fan of deliciously simple vintage recipes and old-fashioned skills, then you'll want to check out this next video. Thanks so much for stopping by.